but here he is coming on to talk about it more. And I can't be more appreciative, grateful, and can't thank him enough for that. So without further ado, let us say hello now to old friend of the show, Dustin Poirier, who's kind enough to join us back home. Dustin, thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I really, really do appreciate this. Could I ask, how are you doing? Less than 48 hours removed from Salt Lake, UFC 291. How are you dealing with everything?
Still processing it. I was kind of busy in Salt Lake. I just got home like an hour ago, so it's kind of, traveling today. It's kind of setting in, but I'm all right. I'm just heartbroken, man. It sucks. I worked hard, was in incredible shape, and I got beat. But like that's fighting. I said that in the post fight. It sucks, man. It fucking sucks. Especially like not taking nothing away from Justin. Like he's a warrior and an incredible job, to sit on a loss for 5 years. I had to do it with Connor. I sat on a loss for like seven, whatever it was, 7, 8 years until I had an opportunity to finally get it back. So he sat on that loss for 5 years and boy, he got it back. But I still, it just sucks because I still feel like I'm better than him. I feel like I'm the better fighter. I got hit with a great shot, not by luck or chance. He set it up beautifully and I was just a victim to great technique. I was in the wrong place. I didn't guard myself properly, but I felt very aware the whole fight. I feel like I'm better than him and I lost. That hurts. But that's fighting, man. It is what it is. What can I do?
Is there any part of you that feels like this one is harder to digest because you already beat him, and that's why you keep saying like you feel like you're better than him because you know that you can beat him, you stopped him, and you saw how that story played out. Does that make it harder to swallow as opposed to if this was the first time you fought him?
No, that was 5 years ago. Like I said all week, that this was a different fight to me. I'm
Hmm.
talking about what I felt in the octagon a couple of days ago. I felt like I was better. Not that I beat him before. This was really a new fight to me. You know.
Okay. Yeah. And just, we always talk about these things after before it's different. Like going in, were you feeling good? Was it a good camp? Were you like, was the week good in Salt Lake? Was everything all okay?
Dude, couldn't have asked for a better week. Easiest weight cut of my career. Camp was incredible. I've never felt better, honestly. I never
Hmm.
felt better. I just, I didn't even get to start fighting. Like we were still filling each other out a lot in that first round, and then second round, boom, it happened. I didn't even get into the fight. I feel like it just sucks, bro. It sucks. Beautiful. I didn't see the kick. I didn't see it. He hit it behind a cross. The two blinded me. I caught like a glimpse of it in my peripheral last second, but it was too late. The foot wrapped around, got me like around the ear, dude. It was fucking beautiful, man. Like just
Hmm.
as a fan of the sport and a fan of Justin's, what he did is incredible because dude, I was very well prepared and I busted my ass and was in position to fuck him up.
When you're thinking about the fight, you sign on the dotted line, you dream about the fight, it's in your thoughts for weeks and months. Did that scenario ever creep in? Like head kicks?
Head kick? No. No. I knew
Never.
I knew no. I knew he's a big puncher. And I felt his hands in there. Like he has a lot of power, man. He has some knockdown power, but kicks, we worked leg kicks the whole camp. We worked checking inside leg kicks again. He didn't throw one inside leg kick. He threw some slap kicks on the outside of my leg, like switch kicks, nothing really hard. Um, but high kick, especially hiding it behind the two like that, blinding me. Dude, I don't get, I've never been dropped with a head kick in my life. I have
Hmm.
47 fights. I've been in the gyms for 16, 17 years. I've never been dropped with a head kick in my life.
Wow. First time training? Never. Nothing.
Never.
Wow. Um, how did you
Usually
feel
see
after?
catch them, parry them,
Sure.
counter.
Right. Right.
I'm slick, man. I'm a slick motherfucker, dude. To catch me, I don't know how this happened. You know,
How did you feel
I don't
after
know
the
how
first
what
round?
what what lapse. Felt good. I felt like it was close. Um, but I knew I had hurt him and I knew I had cut him. I thought maybe the damage. I was when I sat back on the stool, I was like, here we go. Every round I'm gonna pull away. That's what I thought. like leading up to this fight in my mind, I thought each round we fought, I was gonna pull away. The longer the fight goes, the more I pull away. That's what I thought in my head. And I still think that could have happened, if I wouldn't have got booted in the head. But
Mhm. Did you think you won that first
I
round?
got hit with the Hogan boot.
Yes, you did. Did you think you won? I thought you won the
Then
first
Herb dropped
round.
the people's elbow on me.
I know.
What?
Stop. Herb dropped the people. How are you
Jesus
able to even
Christ.
talk about it? How are you able to talk about it like joke? Is this the
Jesus Christ.
this is the way you have to cope with it,
Because,
right?
dude, like, nah, I mean, well, trust me, I've beat myself up enough about it in the last, 48 hours, but it's uh, just like I said in the press conference, I've lost before. And like when they called me with Justin's name, those feelings I got, this is because I knew this was an outcome, I knew this was a possibility, an outcome that could happen. And those are the kind of fights that I want to be part of, that this dangerous fights, and I accept that going in. I know things can happen, but I'm living my life live, naked in front of you guys, to be ridiculed and judged or made fun of if I get knocked out or if I say the wrong things. Everybody's gonna, everybody has an opinion and all this stuff like that. So I'm just being myself. Like I'm not gonna hide. I'm living live in front of you guys. It's a
Hmm.
live documentary you guys have been watching since I was in the WEC nonstop. So I can't hide nothing. Fighting is life. So I just being myself, man. Yeah, it hurts and it fucking sucks because I know I'm better than him, and I think he knows that. All respect to Justin, but I think he knows that as well. So it is what it is. Dude, I got kicked in the fucking head.
And by the way, I would argue that we've been watching this documentary since way before WC because, of course, there is a documentary about your like amateur career and early days Fightville, which is one of the best MMA docs of all time. But I get your point 100%. How many times have you watched it?
I mean, I've seen the highlight a few times. Watched the full fight one time with Mike Brown and Dia Davis when we got back to my Airbnb after the fights.
Okay. And when you see that kick, what would it like? What happens inside?
Well, it fucking hurts to see my body fall like that, and
Yeah.
that hurts to see my body like that. But it was a beautiful technique, man. So, fuck. Just feel like I'm better than to get caught with something like that. And I'm not, I did get caught with it. Uh, but I was just getting going, I had a lot more to show. Felt great, dude. I felt strong. I felt fast. I was in crazy shape. I wanted
Yeah.
to push for 25 minutes, I wanted this to be a war. And my boxing coach told me this week, or I'm sorry, last week, that he believed Justin was going to fight me on the back foot. And in my head, I didn't think that. I thought we were going to crash, and that's not what happened. He fought me on the back foot and kept me, not chasing, but just tracking him down in there. You know, tracking him down. He was always a little step behind, backing up or moving laterally where I was chasing him. And I felt that in there that he wanted to counterpunch. He didn't want to get into the firefight. I'm sure he would have if I would have tried to chase him down and initiated it, but I was trying to be careful as well. Even when I had him hurt, I could see it in his eyes. He wasn't there yet. He wasn't ready to go.
Mm. His coach Trevor Whitman kept saying controlled chaos, and he said this before, but he said it a lot in between the first and second. And Justin, has talked about how the fight against you in 2018 was the turning point that stopped him from going into these firefights all the time. I know you weren't in there a terribly long time with him, but do you feel like he is a different fighter now? Like, is that not just talk? Is it a real thing?
Oh,
He's
for
a different
sure,
type of fighter. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because in my head, it was going to be similar to the first. I was going to be the matador, touch him up, make him miss. Using the techniques I have, the speed I have, the vision I have, and counter punch him, and then walk him down when I wanted to. I didn't think I would be chasing him and getting led into a head kick like that.
Hmm. Um, you and Justin seem to have a great relationship. Like your last fight with Michael, there was a little more tension there between you guys. do you like one situation over the other? Obviously, with Connor, there's tension, there's not tension. Like, do you have any preference? Would you rather not have love and admiration for your opponent?
No, I was gonna hurt him. No, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Um, it is what it is. Whatever, whatever it is, it's a fight. I'm pretty good nowadays at blocking that stuff out. You know, when the bell rings, I'm trying to hurt you.
The line at the post fight press conference where you said this isn't a funeral, I've wanted life and all that. I believe every word that you're saying, and I believe that you believe that. I'm just wondering why you felt the need to say that, and I'm wondering if it's because everyone around you is saying I'm sorry," and everyone doesn't really know how to react when someone loses. And so, is that your way of telling everyone like, "I don't need your condolences. I'm okay. It just sucks. I lost a fight, but like,
Yeah,
save me the flowers and the sad faces."
that's exactly what it is. Like since I walked out of the cage, everybody I went up to was I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Obviously they can see that I was hurt from it. But I didn't want to sit at a press conference and like sit in sorrow with those kind of questions and stuff like that. Just shoot me straight. Let me answer your questions. We don't need to. Like I said, I'm in it. We're not at a funeral. You know.
Right. Yeah. You've again the documentary. We've seen the highs. We've seen the lows with you. This one, because it's not like losing to Khabib is one thing. Losing to someone who you feel like you could beat and who have already beaten is perhaps another.
Hab-
Is
Habib was Habib was better than me. I lost Saturday to somebody who I think I'm better than.
hmm is that what makes it tougher to digest as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was away from home for 9 weeks in training camp. I dieted 11 weeks, sacrificed so much. Really was really focused, man. Was really really focused and felt great. The best I've ever felt. Honestly, the best
I
I've
kn-
ever felt.
wow. And I know you spent time in super high elevation, right? So I feel like I have to ask the question, but did you feel any of that while you were in there?
Nothing. Felt nothing.
Nothing. No.
Nothing. Mike Brown told me after the fight, he was like, dude, I can't believe you were talking to us that much between the first and the second round. He's like, people don't have conversations on the stool like that. You crazy motherfucker. He was telling me that, like, uh, not that it was a crazy first round where I would be exhausted, but just I was in the moment. And, I was there Friday the week before, early Friday morning we landed. I had a straight flight from Florida and the flight left super early. So I was there Friday morning and I was a little bit over 1,000 feet above Salt Lake City in the mountains at an Airbnb. And I had slept at 5,000 feet the last 2 weeks in South Florida. So, dude, when I got to Utah, the air was drier, obviously, but altitude wasn't a problem. I was doing hikes and I ran 5 miles the Sunday before when I was in Utah and did training sessions, every day there. I felt great. But what I did
Okay.
when I did notice the altitude would probably be like the first 7 minutes of every workout. Like that initial blow my lungs out, I felt like, oh, then it kind of settles in and I didn't feel anything.
Okay. And so moving forward now, I know it's still very fresh, but of anything out there in your mind right this second, anything out there because of how you feel about this fight, because you feel like you're the better man and all that, and the kick came out of nowhere, would this be if the UFC called you now and say,
I
whenever
thought
you're
Herb
ready,
kicked me, man. I didn't know what happened.
for real?
I thought I was getting jumped.
Then he hit you with the people's elbow, that guy. Gosh. Herb does slide in there a lot these
Go,
days.
bro. Off the top rope though, Arrow? Jesus Christ.
Did you say I
Jesus
saw you say something to
Christ.
him? Do you remember what you said to him in that moment?
To Herb?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. Dude, honestly,
Mhm.
like, so I've been stopped before. We all know
Yeah.
that. This was one of the least like symptoms of like no headache, no memory loss. I felt like I lost, if anything, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Like when I see the punch coming, then I'm on the mat and I'm grabbing Herb's leg and I realize, oh fuck, no, it happened. Something happened. So I just
Oh
laid
no.
back to kind of process it. That's why I was on the mat for a second. I was awake and aware, but I just realized I was grabbing Herb's leg, so I was just laid back because I realized something bad had happened. But
And then who tells you the news?
I mean, I just understand. Like I know the news.
Right.
I've been doing this a long time. I know the news. I know I don't just wake up on the ground.
No, I know, but who tells you like the how?
Uh, when we go to the back, my coaches and stuff like that, then we start rewatching the clip of exactly how it was done.
Right.
You know, I'm here, fucking moving, then I'm on the ground. I knew something bad happened. I'm not Joe Biden. I'll just end up on the fucking ground.
And so I'm just wondering, like, is this the top, like, number one choice for you? Would it be to fight him again?
If I can, yeah, but like then I look like I'm chasing shit, and obviously he's moving on to bigger and better things now. He doesn't have to fight me, so I don't know. I don't know. Of course, that would be my number one pick if I can choose anybody to fight right away. Of course,
Yeah. The reason I asked that is because it does seem like you are in this moment now, and we've talked about it before, where it's like you just don't want to take fights anime. And so I don't even know how many people are left on that list, right?
I
Of
want
the
to
fights
fight
that
your
will get.
ass.
Are you talking to a dog there? I wasn't sure who you were talking to. Was it me or?
No, 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 no. I was grabbing something on my back. I was talking to you.
Oh fuck, I'm fucked.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, I gotta get some. I gotta get a dub, man.
you're not ending
I
like
don't know.
that.
We'll see,
There's no
man.
chance you're ending, right?
Dude, I still feel great, and I can compete with all these guys. I still love the sport. I fucking hate it too, so I just deal with it. Every day is different. It's like a roller coaster of emotions. I love it and I hate it. It's giving me everything I have, but it's also taking away so much time. I have to be so selfish in what I do. I just miss so many birthdays and I'm not complaining because it's giving me everything I have. But to compete at the highest level, for me anyway, maybe everybody's different, but for me, dude, I have to like be so selfish and so focused and lock myself away type of thing. So I miss a lot of time. Luckily, this fight was in summer and my wife and daughter were able to come to camp with me. But nah, dude, I missed a bounce back. I've never lost two fights in a row in 47 fights. I don't think I can walk away on a loss. Um,
Hmm.
but also I don't know. I'm like I said in the press conference, I'm not better than these guys, but I'm just been doing this shit too long. I don't want to fight a new guy in the UFC or something like that. It has to mean something to me. Otherwise, I'm just fighting to fight. I've done that my whole life. I got ahead doing that. I put myself in a great position. It has to mean something. This meant something to me. This was a legacy fight. That's what really hurts. That's what I was telling my boxing coach when we got back. I felt like, winning this belt, of course it's not a UFC title. It's not an undisputed title, but it really means something, to the fighters, a fighter's fighter. It means something to be nominated and able to fight for that and win that belt. And Justin earned it, man. And paid in full. He fucking
Hmm.
paid in full. And I felt like that win and that belt would have really cemented my legacy, like as a, because I've got wins over great guys and I've been doing this a long time and stuff. But I felt like that BMF belt would have really made me like a real nomination for a Hall of Famer. It would have really cemented a legacy. Like this guy has done a lot of stuff in the sport, and also it would have teed me up for a title shot and an opportunity to
So,
cross all the boxes off the list.
okay, the last thing you said there, I agree with. Can I just say something? As a pal, I couldn't disagree with you more with what you said at the beginning of that statement. Respectfully, and I'm not saying anything that I haven't said leading up to this fight. That belt don't mean shit. That ain't changing shit about your legacy. You are a Hall of Famer. You don't need that belt. I'll go get you that belt. That belt, you didn't need that belt going in to prove that you're a BMF. You don't need it going out. So I wouldn't put that in your mind that you need that to cement any legacy, to be a Hall of Famer, to get a title shot. You didn't need any of that stuff. So just I agree with maybe what you said. Oh, a win gets you a title shot. It's hard to get a title shot off a loss, but that belt wasn't going to change anything about your career, your resume, how people feel about you, what you've done. If you walked away today, you're in the Hall of Fame. Whatever that Hall of Fame is, you're in the Hall of Fame tomorrow. So respectfully disagree with that because I don't think you need that belt at all.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you because I respect your word, man. You're one of the few guys in MMA media. There's only a couple that I respect, and you're one of those guys. So thanks. That means a lot.
Of course. I'm just wondering about the selfish thing that you bring up because I feel the same way. Like I notice every time you talk about birthdays, every time you talk about missing things, these things like speak to me as a father as well. And so I'm just wondering, are you getting tired of being selfish? At some point, is that the thing that ultimately will make you decide that I've had enough because you don't want to miss these things anymore?
I mean, it's like I can't get that time back, you know. Uh, I'm blessed that my family can travel with me for training camps, you know, but I also have brothers here. You know, my father's getting older, my mother's here, you know, my little brother has a baby, my little brother's getting married. Um, and I'm just always gone. You know, I'm always on the road chasing dreams, and I've done it for so long. But that's just a sacrifice we pay. But I feel like it's just being selfish, you know. Um, and you have to be, you know, to be the best at what I'm trying to do. I can't do it here in Louisiana. I need to be surrounded by other, you know, other people in that kind of gym at American Top Team, and it is what it is. But it's no different from any other work, you know. Whether I was a truck driver and I had to leave my family for a few days at a time and doing that type of stuff, but it's just like I'm that's not the reason if I thought about walking away. It's just that's part of what I dislike about some of the stuff.
Hmm. Hmm. Can I tell you we were talking about this at the beginning of the show. The one that needs to happen, I feel like, and I feel like it can very well happen at some point next year, is you versus Nathan. That's the one. And I feel like he wants to come back. He's talked openly about that. That's got to get you excited,
Has he?
right? This is like he does, yeah.
He
He
can't he
says it.
can't he can't get his he can't get his leg high, right? Like a high kick or nothing.
No, I don't think he's not one. I
All
mean,
right. I'll
Justin,
take it.
but
I'll take that fight.
will you be watching
No kicks.
with great interest on Saturday? Will you watch that? Because I feel like he looks good in that
I
fight.
was
He's coming back, and you're the man.
Yeah, let's fucking go. I'm not chasing it, you know. I'm not
No,
chasing. It's
I
funny
know.
because like you're the third, probably the third person in the last week to bring his name up, you know. And he's not even in the organization, and um, that would be a good one, you know. I don't know. They're fighting in Dallas. That's a short flight from here and a short drive. It's not that far. But I'm
Oh,
actually and Celsius is sponsoring the event. They were gonna give me
yes.
tickets to their box, but every summer, if I fight in the summer, we always go on a family vacation. My whole family, I rent a house out and we all go to the beach. So I'm actually driving out on that day, so I'm not gonna be able to make it. But I'll be watching
Wow.
for sure.
Okay, I was gonna invite you. You could have been my guest. I'll be there.
Man, trust me, if I wasn't leaving that same day, I would definitely be there.
You think he wins? No one seems to think he's gonna win. The disrespect has been
Uh,
crazy.
dude, I think he could win. I just think he's older, not as explosive, uh, and his style. You know, yeah, it's awkward and it looks. It's I think his boxing works, and he has good things he does. But for boxing in a ring against a boxer, not that Jake's a incredible boxer with angles and stuff like that, but he's dedicated himself to the craft, and I know he's young and strong and explosive, and all it takes is one shot, and I think Jake's gonna win, but I could be wrong. You know, if Nate gets him tired, Jake punches himself out. You know, we all know Nate has a gas tank, so we'll see. I don't think Nate has the power to put. Jake is big, man. I mean, you've been around both of these guys. Jake
Yeah.
is big compared to Nathan. Um, with boxing gloves, that pity pat style, I think it's gonna be hard to put Jake away.
Just a couple more things, and I'll let you go real quick. I know you were focused on other things, but Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor's tweets on Saturday, how did they sit with you?
What did they say? Oh, I
Well,
only
I know you.
saw. I didn't see Connor's. I saw Michael's
Yeah, you
when he
responded to
asked to fight
Michael's,
for the
right?
BMF belt. Yeah,
Yeah. You said shut your bitch ass up, I think it was.
yeah.
You didn't like that?
No, dude, he got beat by both of us, and then he didn't admit to fucking doing the stuff he did. I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way.
I think Connor was then saying that he wanted to fight Gaethje next as well. Um, and then Gaethje shut him down.
Dude, he needs to pass a drug test, you know? That's what he needs to do. I
Gaethje
mean, if
said something like that as well.
yeah, he needs to pass a drug test. And if we change the rules for him to compete to sell some pay-per-views, I mean, we make a mockery of, you know, all this we put in place, all this they put in place, but they're the judge and the jury, so they do what they want to do. So we'll see, man.
Hmm. There are some people, including a person on my show, but I don't want to say his name because I'm afraid that you're gonna be very mad if I ask this question. But I told him I would ask you the question. 170. He said we were talking about what you should do next, and he said he had the greatest idea of all time. You at 170 against Colby. I said, don't even mention this to Dustin. He's gonna hate me forever. He's never gonna come on the show again if I bring this up. So I just want to let you know this is not my suggestion, but what are your thoughts on this?
No, dude, like everybody thinks that's another thing. Like, of course I can make 170 because I walk around heavier than 170. But everybody thinks I'm fucking huge lightweight, dude. Trust me, I'm on the mats at American Top Team with handful of other fighters at 155 pounds who weigh more than me on a normal basis. Like I'm out of camp here in Louisiana. If I'm training a few times a week, I'm high 70s. I'm waking up 178. That's not big. To the average person, that might seem like a lot, but to in this day and age, lightweights in the UFC, dude, that's not heavy.
Right.
I think
Right.
people kind of anchor on to when I was cutting to 45, and I said I got
Mm.
up to 190 a few times when I was cutting to 40. Dude, I haven't seen 190s in 6, 7 years, however long I've been a lightweight. I think my metabolism was getting busted up from cutting that weight, and my body's holding on to water. And I would just get so swollen and big after I would start fighting, rehydrating, and eating normal foods again. The week after, when I would get back home, I would just get so swollen and heavy. Um, but I'm not as big as people think I am. Not as heavy. I'm big.
Hmm.
Not Chael Sonnen big, but I'm big.
I feel you. That version of Justin, can he beat Islam or Charles?
He has, um, dude. I'm just being honest with you about everything, man. With
Please.
everybody this whole week. He has the wrestling credentials. If his takedown defense holds up, I do think he can cause some problems for Islam. He punches hard. I felt it through my guard. He hit me with two body shots, straight punches. Didn't like hurt me to where it didn't hurt any organs. Like I didn't get hit in the liver or anything. He kind of hit me in the chest, but I felt the power. Like his bones are dense. He punches hard and he throws everything into it. Um, One hook got through, and at the last second, I was able to face roll it and not take it flush. As soon as it like landed, I turned my head with it, and that saved me because I think there was a punch in there that I think if I wouldn't have turned my face, it would have stopped me. I just felt the heat off those things, man. He throws hard. If he catches Islam, if he stops Islam from taking it down and he throws those kind of punches and they land, he will go down. That's the kind of puncher Gaethje is. So it just comes down to his wrestling defense, if it holds up.
You made the comparison earlier to the Connor fight. I do want to remind everyone you fought Connor many moons ago. It didn't go your way. You rematched him, you beat him, and then there was an immediate rematch. So if this is the same thing, why can't it be the same? The roles are reversed here, but why can't you fight him if the belt is being defended in October? Why can't you fight in, say, I don't know, December, and then we find out trilogy? It's the same thing, right? What's the difference?
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing. The business side might be different. I don't think we're doing 1.8 million pay-per-view buys. When you do that type of stuff, rematches might happen a little quicker.
Yeah. Was it
You
really
know,
1.8? Which one? The first, the second, or the third?
1.6. I think the second was well, the second one might have been 1.8. The third was 1.6, I believe.
Wow. Do you want to fight again this year?
Dude, like I feel great. Like mentally, I feel clear. I was pretty like as soon as we walked out of the cage and went back to the back, I was all I was there, no headache, no nothing, no fucking sucks, bro. It's like we'll see if something comes up that makes sense. I think I still feel great, and we still have 6 months left. So if something
Okay.
makes sense, I'll fight.
Last thing, what do you like? I could
But
just
what
tell
makes
how much
sense?
it.
What makes
Right.
sense?
Right. There's not. Yeah. There's not much. Like I said, there's the Nate fight, the trilogy, if they want to go that route. My last thing for you is like I could see it just eating you up inside. talking about it, how frustrating it is. How do you spend your days now? Like, what are you going to do to not go crazy?
well, I was super busy, man. After the fight, I stayed one day extra. I didn't get back to my Airbnb that Saturday night till after the press conference, probably like 1 something a.m. And I had, family, my coaches kind of kept me entertained. Then the next day I met with my hot sauce partners and Celsius and a couple other business partners I have, and we had a brunch. So I was just really busy talking, staying busy. Not it hasn't really set in, but today I'm traveling. I flew back and just got back, and I'm by myself for a second here. My wife will pick up my daughter. They just got back a while ago, but that's whenever it's kind of like we're setting in, and I'm by myself. I'm really thinking about it hard now. It's quiet, and it's tough to digest, man. It's just tough to swallow, but that's fighting. It's just tough stuff, bro.
Well, I don't know if
I
you've
got to stay
seen it.
busy. I got to stay busy. That's gonna
Yes.
gonna help me out. I got to stay busy. I've always done that though. Usually I jump right back in the gym. That's what keeps me like drowned out the noise in my head with work, with sweat equity, with just grinding. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that now. I'm definitely gonna be back in the gym here. I'll probably do jujitsu on Friday, at my buddy's gym down the street. A buddy I grew up with has a gym, dude, 2 miles away from my house, and they have open mat every Friday. So I'm gonna go roll at Eric Scallon's gym, Gladiators Academy of Youngsville, and get some rolls in. Stay in the gym, have fun. I got buddies here who are fighting on the local circuit, pros and amateurs. Work with them, just stay in the gym. But I have a lot of businesses outside of fighting, and
Yes.
that stuff I think is going to keep. I've been going for 9 weeks, so that stuff I got a lot of catching up to. That stuff's going to keep me busy. I just got to keep my mind busy, man.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I'm a enemy to myself.
Right.
I have
I
to
don't
be
know
in
if you
I have
want
to be in conflict with something. The kind
conflict,
of person I
not
am.
busy. Why conflict?
It just it is that I'm in a state of constant conflict. If it's not with an opponent, if it's not with a fight coming up, if it's not with a business challenge, if I have to be at battle with something, or I'm harmful to myself.
And what do you mean by harmful to yourself?
Like just overthinking everything or drinking too much. I have to be busy. I can't be doing nothing and just sitting back. I feel like I'm a danger to myself.
I don't know if you want to think about fighting, but I know you love boxing. If you want to just put your feet up and enjoy a masterpiece, have you watched Terence Crawford's win over Errol Spence? If you haven't,
I saw highlights. I saw highlights, but I will go
you
back and
need to
watch the,
watch
the
that,
whole
man.
card.
It was unbelievable. It's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen by a boxer. It was a true masterclass. It was I was there and I just couldn't believe what I was watching. It was unbelievable.
I'm a big boxing fan, man. Like
Yeah,
that that was two guys at the top who I'm surprised it got done and it happened. We don't see that
yeah.
too often in boxing. So that was special that they did that. I can't wait to watch the whole thing.
Well, enjoy that.
But
Enjoy the time at home.
but like before you kick me off,
No,
uh,
no. I just want to be cognizant of
I,
your time.
I'm
I'll have
I'm
you on for forever.
nah, dude. It's all good. I just got back. I'm catching up. I'm not in a rush, but uh, Wednesday here in Lafayette, we have a backpack pickup
Oh,
school supply drive. We'll be handing out backpacks filled with school supplies and food to Lafayette, Louisiana. So the foundation will keep me busy as well. I have that stuff going on. I always have something going on, but I just have to be working.
where can people find out more about that?
Oh, thegoodfightgroup.com or the Good Fight Foundation Instagram or Twitter.
It's incredible that you keep doing that. Unbelievable. Are you doing an auction again?
Yeah, I'll auction off everything I wore to the cage on Saturday. We'll probably have it up in the next couple of days. Just getting back home.
And what is it going towards? Or you have yet to determine?
Well, I mean, we were always setting goals. Um, we have a big 5K. We partnered up and sponsored St. Jude's 5K this year in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in September. So after the backpack drive, that's the next big thing we're teaming up to do. And then, of course, we're gonna have the Thanksgiving food drive and Christmas presents for children in need. and between those things, we're a little ways away from Thanksgiving, so we're gonna do some stuff in the community, until those goals. But we'll just fill in as we see we can help wherever.
Hmm. Well, good luck with that. It's incredible that you guys do that. Much respect, much love, and thanks for jumping on, Dustin, especially after a flight and everything over this past weekend. Really appreciate it, and your insights are invaluable. So, thanks for doing this, my man. Don't be too hard on yourself, and please let me never hear again you saying that you needed a BMF title to secure your legacy or any of that other nonsense. You didn't need that. It's already
I just
secure. All
Thanks,
this
man.
is just gravy.
Appreciate you, man. I just felt like that was the one. That was like the one that locks it in. But
Nah, that ain't
hey,
the
that's the
one.
way life. That's the way life goes, man. That's the hurt business.
You, like I said to you privately, and I'll say it publicly, Dustin Poirier is the kind of fighter that I'm going to tell my grandkids about, that I got to cover, that I got to watch, that I had the privilege of watching. So we are all in debt to you, owe you a lot, and nothing that happened on Saturday will change or from here on out. So please don't be too hard on yourself. And thank you for all the great fights and the fights that are about to come. Because as I said to you as well, you always come back a million times better after these heartbreaking losses. Every single one, you could then point to a winning streak, a big run. And so we are expecting the same this time out.
Thank you, man. Yeah, missed the bounce back, dude. Fall down seven, get
That's
up
right.
eight. The story of my freaking life. And I do want to say thank you to all the fans. Like reaching out, and I have felt the love. I appreciate that.
All right.
And
Thanks,
I'm better than
Dustin.
that. I'm better than what happened Saturday night. I promise you. I'm slick. I'm a nasty motherfucker, man. I just got caught. I didn't see it. Justin Gaethje, incredible work.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dustin. Talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Take
brother.
care.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
There he is, Dustin Poirier. What can you say about that guy? How could he not be one of your favorites? Coming on, answering the questions, being honest, being open, authentic, vulnerable. How could you not appreciate that? What a sport. Golly.